Warren Cassian, 10 Ways the Unwise Squander Fortune. Have you ever wondered why some wealthy people seem calmer, wiser, and never in a rush to show off? What if I told you that one of the richest men alive pays with coupons and drives a used car by choice? Welcome to the world of Warren Cassian, a man whose financial philosophy is as deep as it is simple, and whose story may just change the way you think about money forever. Welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong Compassy, where we trade illusions for truth, where emotions are felt but not obeyed, where clarity is power and discipline is freedom. This is not just a channel. Spo. It's a mindset. Guermo. It's a journey of conscious living. Yebel. Let's begin. Spo. The Quiet Fire of Arya. Arya wasn't born into silence. She was born into noise, like all of us. But somewhere along the way, she made a quiet, radical choice to live differently. While the world rushed ahead, chasing promotions, possessions, and praise, Arya took another road, one without applause, without spotlight. Her path was not glamorous. It was grounded, intentional. In her 20s, she had nothing but a cracked phone, student debt, and sleepless nights. Her apartment was small, the lights unreliable, and her dreams so heavy they often made her chest ache. But she didn't run from her life. She leaned in. She chose discipline over distraction. Started where she stood, with dusty books borrowed from the library, a notebook filled with careful budgeting, and dinners made from rice, eggs, and quiet resilience. Each day, she rose at 5 a.m., not to prove anything to the world, but to slowly reclaim what had slipped through her fingers, control over her life. She never gambled, on money, on shortcuts, or on people who didn't honor peace. While others broadcast success, Arya built stability. She didn't pretend. She practiced. She wore the same winter coat for years, turned down nights out she couldn't afford, and embraced solitude. Not because it was easy, but because it taught her how to be strong without applause. Arya didn't need status symbols to feel whole. She just needed to look into the mirror and feel calm, honest, and free. Now in her 40s, she owns a home. No mortgage, no debt. Her car isn't flashy, but it runs smoothly. She scrolls less, reads more, shops less, smiles more. Her story isn't written in headlines. It's written in her quiet strength, in the way she listens, walks, and simply is. Arya is proof that real dignity doesn't shout, it whispers. And true strength doesn't demand attention. It shows up, day after day. Live with depth. Choose with care. Let the world chase noise. You choose peace. From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you, no matter where you are in the world, for taking the time to watch this video. Your presence and support are the driving force that keeps me creating and sharing. No words can truly capture the depth of my appreciation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing. And thank you for walking this journey with me. Warren Cassian, seasoned merchant, investor, and a man whose days follow quiet, disciplined rhythms, isn't celebrated merely because he's wealthy. He's admired because of how he became wealthy and why he stayed that way. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't indulge in luxury for its own sake. Instead, he follows a rare and unwavering code. That true wealth is clarity of mind, consistency in action, and freedom from excess. His views on money aren't trendy, they're timeless, grounded in restraint, rooted in values. And now, he shares them with those willing to listen. With 10 common financial pitfalls that destroy more fortunes than bad luck ever could. 1. Neglecting to invest in oneself. Cassian begins where most overlook: the mind. The most important investment, he says with calm conviction, is in your own mind. Knowledge, like money, compounds, but only if nurtured. While others chase shiny opportunities or ride the wave of speculation, Cassian focuses inward. He reads every day. He reflects in silence. He sharpens how he thinks, speaks, and reasons. Because in the end, it's not the market that determines your future. It's the quality of your thinking. And a rich mind can survive storms that no bank account can. 2. Falling into credit card debt. To Cassian, credit is not evil. It's a tool, like fire. It can warm or destroy. But too many let it consume them. He's had a single credit card since 1964. He rarely uses it. Cash keeps the mind honest, he says. With cash, every decision feels real. Every expense is a choice you must own. Debt, to him, is a trap disguised as convenience. And freedom begins where compounding interest ends. 3. Buying what one does not need. In a world screaming for more luxury, more style, more stuff, Cassian chooses less. Not because he can't afford more, but because he doesn't need it. He's lived years with a basic flip phone. He replaced it only when it could no longer serve its function, not because a newer model looked good in hand. Simplicity is freedom, he says quietly. And freedom, he believes, is worth far more than appearances. 4. Purchasing new vehicles. Cassian doesn't see cars as statements, he sees them as tools. Why pay for more than you need, he asks. A new carriage loses value the moment it is claimed. He prefers used vehicles. They're cheaper, they work. And more importantly, they don't distract him from what matters. He drives rarely. He buys wisely. To Cassian, the price you pay should reflect how often and how deeply you truly need the thing. 5. Paying too much for anything. Even as a man of means, Cassian remains rooted in principle over pride. One quiet evening, he hosted an old friend, none other than William Gates, for a humble dinner. Nothing lavish, just a meal shared in earnest conversation. At the end, Cassian pulled out a few neatly folded discount vouchers. He paid, as always, with grace and purpose, not to save a few dollars, but to remind himself. Wealth isn't about spending without thought, it's about living with intention. After uncovering the first 5 pitfalls Warren Cassian so carefully avoids, a clearer picture begins to form, not of a miser, but of a man who's mastered money by mastering himself. And as we continue, his remaining lessons dig even deeper, not into numbers, but into the nature of discipline, intention, and quiet strength. 6. Eating out excessively. Cassian has never been seduced by gourmet menus or the fleeting thrill of exotic flavors. For him, a simple sandwich, eaten regularly, without performance, is more than enough. He doesn't eat to impress. He eats to sustain. Repetition, in his eyes, isn't boring. It's a quiet celebration of sufficiency. Eat for function, not fashion, he says. Because when meals serve nourishment instead of ego, they become fuel not just for the body, but for the soul. There is calm in the ordinary, and Cassian chooses that calm, plate after plate. 7. Missing opportunities. Cassian's success didn't begin with a business empire. It started with a paper route. These test enum a batapes. Falatas batapis tes. Ease tes batapis tes. Asting Mizan. He washed cars. He did whatever was honest, legal, and available. No opportunity was too small. Enam batapis. Misal batapis tes. Enam batapis. And when none came knocking, he built his own door. Fortune, he believes, isn't handed out randomly. It's forged, day by day, through readiness and resolve. In every season of life, Cassian keeps his eyes open, not for shortcuts, but for quiet chances that most overlook. 8. Gambling. To Cassian, gambling is not just a poor habit. It's a tax on ignorance. He doesn't judge those who play, but he doesn't join them either. Entertainment should enrich, not erode. A coin, he insists, should be planted, not tossed into the winds of luck. Why would a man of reason hand his future to a roulette wheel? 9. Living beyond one's means. Do not mistake lifestyle for life, Cassian warns. A phrase simple, but heavy with meaning. The desire to appear wealthy often comes at the cost of real security. And when appearances become more important than substance, ruin is just a few purchases away. Before buying anything, he asks, is this truly needed or simply wanted? It's a quiet practice, a private discipline, but it builds the kind of life that can survive storms. Live within your means, not beyond your moment. 10. Spending to impress others. There is no place in Cassian's world for vanity spending. He wears what is comfortable. He owns what is useful. He does not decorate his life to spark envy or admiration. Because true wealth, he teaches, is measured not in things, but in peace. Money cannot purchase love. It cannot buy health. And it certainly cannot replace a quiet, steady mind. Cassian's fortune lies not only in what he possesses, but in what he refuses to chase. He doesn't just command the market, he commands himself. And in doing so, he fulfills the Stoic ideal. Calm, clarity, and control in a world obsessed with more. In a world chasing more, Warren Cassian chose less. Less noise. Less ego. Less waste. But in that quiet, he found more than most ever will. More clarity. More freedom. More peace. You don't need to impress the world. You just need to master yourself. Live with purpose. Spend with wisdom. Vas und wero. Rock lightly. Egars. Flee me. Onset. Onset. Play set. Walk lightly. Stand firm. Was und work. Onset. Onset. If an idea in this video touched you, let it settle in your heart. Each time you return, you might hear something new. Perhaps it will reach even deeper. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. See you in the next video, where we'll take another step together on this journey of inner discovery.